watch my baby.
Dad is watching both the babies. There we go. He's finishing up that back portion of the fence. Hey friends, this is Ashley.
Mommy.
I will in a second with Uncommon Roots Homestead. And today we are over on the land. We have a lot of energy. And Kevin is finishing up the compost section of the fence. And we brought our dog over here. She's only been over here a couple of times and Isla is very concerned, but I figured I would let you guys come along with us and see what's going on the land and yeah, just do a short vlog. Let's do it. So right now we're walking towards the far section of the pasture portion of our land. So our land kind of is it's like an L, and the garage is up there, and then the road is actually up there further. Or wait, I'm going backwards. The garage is there, the road is there. The depth perception on this I can never figure it out, but anyways, so it's kind of an L with the pasture, and it's about 6.5 acres that are cleared, and then we have 8.5 acres that are back into the woods, and it's all fenced in. It used to be owned by one owner, and he split the property into 5 parcels that he sold, so we own one of those parcels, which is really great. The whole thing is fenced in, which is super helpful. That's one of those big, like, intimidating expenses that come with owning a lot of land, especially if you want to have livestock or something on them eventually. It's helpful that we already have that infrastructure. But anyways, we're headed over because Isla said she saw a tree that fell down on this far part of our land behind me here. I don't see the tree, but figured it would be good to get her out and walk down and see. We don't do a ton over here, but this is actually where I just planted a couple rose bushes over by the gate on this side. The people who bought I will in a second, baby. The people who bought the other section of land, there's about 7 acres in the back here. There was a gate because obviously it was one owner. So there was a gate separating what's our land and pasture from what's their land and pasture. He used to have cattle, so he would move them around. But we want to be neighborly. We're not gonna remove the gate or anything. The fences and the gates are actually on the property lines. So in Tennessee, that means that we both have equal ownership of all of those. So if there's any like damage to a fence, it's actually 50-50 split responsibility, regardless of who put the fence up in the state of Tennessee if it's on the property line. And with gates, it's the same thing. It's 50-50 ownership, regardless of who buys it. It's already here. We don't really want that to be like an access point. I planted a couple rose bushes down here. I'm gonna check on them today. I don't see any trees fallen. I think she saw this tree with the leaves from far away and thought that maybe it had fell down. But I don't see anything. What tree did you think fell down? What tree did you think fell down? Those ones. Anyways, so we want to be neighborly when we live here, but we also bought this amount of space because we want some privacy. So we kind of balance that. And yeah, so we will have this gate, but we don't plan for it to be functional. The other owners actually put a lock on it when they purchased their land. And we kind of joked about, Lily, come over here. Dogs don't understand property lines. We joked about putting a second lock on because it's 50-50 ownership, but we're not gonna do that. Let me open these bubbles. All right, so we are in that back section of our property. I'll show you kind of what it looks like back here. Let me flip you. Okay, so you can see this fence, it actually runs all the way back down into the woods, and that's where our 8 acres kind of continues. So it's kind of at this like diagonal all the way down. And that's like the 8 acres there are like a long rectangular portion. So this is the gate I was just talking about, and then it goes all the way down. So we have this section of like wooded area. A lot of these trees are not very healthy. Actually, when Isla first said, we are struggling with bubbles today, girl. Hold on one second. When Isla first said that she thought a tree had fallen down, I actually wasn't surprised if there was one, because a lot of these trees, you can see they're not super healthy, and we've lost a lot of limbs. So you can kind of see down here and like the stumps where other trees have fallen. But then this is like that big pasture from the other angle. So this goes all the way down. Our property line is way back there, and then it turns up towards the road. That's our garage. Oop, that perception there, go woo. And then yeah, the woods down there. So we are just hanging around today. Here are those rose bushes that I planted. They don't look great, but actually they did look great before. They're clearance rose bushes. They should come back. They're knockout roses, which are really resilient.
Hello, Bubbles.
Bubbles, they are a great way to keep a child entertained for a pretty long period of time. So what we want to do over here is actually we're thinking more seriously, and by thinking I mean we are going to do it. We're going to get a cow when we first move here. So our house will be right back there in that little area right there. And then my garden is going to be right over here. And then what we're going to do is give the rest of this pasture to our family cow. We're going to fence it off. We're going to do a small shelter. It's just going to be one cow. So we're just going to do a livestock shelter with like a barn portion. It doesn't get too cold here, so I'm not too worried about having like this huge barn or infrastructure right now, because we're in East Tennessee. We have really mild winters. I mean, it gets cold, but it doesn't drop below freezing. Our like coldest temps are in the teens, and that's usually like one day. So we're not too worried about that. So for now, we're just gonna leave this whole pasture basically for livestock. And then Kevin's working on that chicken coop area. We can go check on the progress there. I think I hear Liam crying, so I'm gonna head back up that way and I'll show you what he's doing. Let's see how Kev is doing on his project. So you can see, I've shared this on Instagram, but I don't think I've shared it here. So this is going to be the back portion of the chicken area, the chicken run. We're having the coop delivered. It'll go right here. And then we're going to actually do a picket fence down to about here, all the way over to there, and then down the other side. And eventually we'll keep the hogs over on that side. But he's actually building in a compost area. So that'll have a door that you can open up, so we can just scoop all of the chicken manure into there and have easy access to our compost. So we're really excited about that. Lily, can you say hi? You're a good girl. I know. There's lots of other dogs here and she just wants to go meet them, but we have to stay on our land, huh? You're being good. Let's see what Daddy's doing. How's it going? It's gonna look great. So the thought is that we have it open so that we can actually let the chickens in and they can turn the compost pile for us. So this will swing open so that we can actually close it and keep them out of there if we want. And also our property had this weird little like jut out where it's a straight line. And then like right about here, it starts to like triangle out to this point, and then it triangles back over to here. So we just decided to make it one straight line, and then that was like lost property basically because the existing fence had just cut it off. So we decided to jut out and use that as our compost section. So obviously we don't live here yet. Our house is not here yet. We're here a few times a week. Hey, bud. But it's hard. It's hard to want to be somewhere and not be there yet, and have limited time, right? I work full time. So I can't be here all the time. Kevin is here more often than I am. and the kids come with him on occasion. But for the most part, the weekends are the only time that we get here to really enjoy. So tonight we're gonna cook out on a fire and have some turkey legs and really, really kind of embrace this season. I've talked about that before in like the desire to like rush through to the next stage, you know, the stage where we live here and this is our backyard and all of the things that are cool and novel and, you know, being outside and hiking around on the land. Yeah, I'm sure we'll still do some of that to some extent, but it's not going to be the same. We're not going to be as excited. Hey girl, be careful, back up. We have a pond that I do not want to have to fish her out of. We're actually filling that in. I think I told you guys that before, but anyways, we're trying to enjoy this time. So I hope that you've enjoyed coming with us so far. I think we're gonna go explore the woods a little bit and I'm gonna leave you guys here and then I'll pick you back up and I'll show you how we're cooking dinner. Talk to you later. Lily, come on. Lily, come on. You wave? Come on, Lily. There she goes. Come on, Ella. Yeah? Up here. Watch your step with the pricklies. Hey friends, it is early, a couple days later.
Mom, you come over here.
We're a little cranky this morning. I am making my coffee. And I realized that we never finished off the last video when you guys were just hanging with us at the land. Like all good plans, and apparently like all of our good plans, we were going to eat dinner over the fire and we had brought turkey legs and we had packed everything into a basket. And we forgot matches. And we are not quite homesteader enough to start a fire without matches or any type of assist. So we did not end up eating dinner at the land. It's a little bit far from our current home. So we didn't want to kind of like come back here and then go back there. So we just decided to hang out a little bit longer until dusk and then head back over this way. But I wanted to just kind of wrap up and let you guys know that we appreciated you joining us. You know, sometimes I think there's value in just being.
Here.
She wants us to go over there in the second bed. Sometimes I think there's value in just being and not always having a set agenda and not always, you know, trying to teach something or show something. I think that, you know, I want you guys to just be able to hang out with us and to see what we're doing and to give us advice on how you would do things that we're doing and just get to know us a little bit better. So thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for carving out a moment of your busy lives to spend some time with us. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week.